Let's look into the equipment model. As you see, I have 2 pumps, 1 heat exchanger and 2 tanks. In this case, I want to add a new equipment. So when I select equipment, create equipment, I just select the create equipment and a list will appear, a drop-down list, and then you can select the type of equipment you want to create. In this case, it will be a pump and a centrifugal pump. When I select the centrifugal pump, as you see, we have some dimension. So the SL, as shown in the picture, is now 1550. I can change that to 1500. And then, of course, give the tag number, call it pump 400, and assign. And we also have nozzles, suction discharge. If you take a look at nozzle, you can select the nozzle and then you can select the type of pressure rating and also change the size and so on and so forth. Then select. When you select it, you give it the insertion point, in this case the type of coordinates for location. And then you see the compass. Remember we talked about the compass before today. It gave me a 45 by 45 by 45 selection, and the reason for that, it says, as you see in the menu compass, it says 45 45. If you set that to 30 or 90, it will be only 90 or 30. Okay, that will be the insertion point. So that's the way you insert a pump into the equipment model. Very simple. To show you a little more of this, I also want to add or create a filter. Then I will show you how easy that is. Let's do it from the scratch. I select create again, and then I select the part I want to create. In this case will be a filter and vertical filter. And then I select equipment, and then I can build it up from the beginning. So let's start with the shapes. I want to start with the cylinder, and that will be, let's see, the top on the filter. So I give that a diameter on that cylinder for 600, and the thickness for the top will then be, let's say, 40 millimeters. Then I add a new cylinder. That should be 500 because that's the thickness of the filter, and again the length will be 600 millimeter. And also, of course, I want to add, let's see, a head in the bottom, and that will then be 500. So then we start with nozzles, and then add nozzle number 1. Select type of nozzle. In this case, the bolt is 6-inch, and it will be a raised face 150 pound. And as you see, I want that to be radial for the filter, and also the height will then be, remember I said the filter will be 500 millimeter high, 600 millimeter high. I will give that to 400 millimeters, and then we want to have the angle that will be 0 degrees, and the length that will be the length from the wall, from the filter to end of the nozzle. That will be a standard 150 millimeters. So that was nozzle number 1. I can give it a tag if you want, nozzle number 1. And then same thing for nozzle number 2. Again, select. That will be 6-inch, 150, raised faced, and again radial, and the height we said 400, and the angle will be then 180, and of course the distance out will be 150. And of course you can also add data to it. Create. Here we have the nozzle, and of course the rotation. If you now take a little look at that nozzle, as you see, this filter is now done, and it's one part, very easy. And of course you can modify it, right click, and then you can say modify equipment and say, okay, I want to increase the height of the top, so increase that to 100, and again, it's very simple. That's the way the equipment work.